Mama, I cannot help you oh. I'm not going to the market with you. What if my school friend sees me and you? No, I cannot take that risk at all.
Haba, Titi my pikin, na your mama I be. I carry from belle for 9 months. Good 9 months o. Na me your mother you dey shame for?
In the streets of a little African town where the sun rose with golden splendor, lived a widow, Iya Titi. Life had been very difficult for her after the passing of her husband. Her husband passed when her daughter was just 2 years old. To provide for her daughter, she sells roasted corn. With the little money she made, she was able to cater for her daughter's need and even sent her to school.
She would wake up very early in the morning even before the first cock crow off to the farm where she bought the corns. And when corn is out of the season, she switched to selling roasted plantain.
In order for her daughter to wear nice clothes, she wore old and torn clothes. But Titi grew up thinking she is too special. Instead of seeing her mother sacrifice, she despised her mother. The young girl hated their poverty and blamed her mother for the condition. Whenever her mother returned from the market looking so tired with her clothes soaked with sweat, Titi would wrinkle her nose in disgust.
Mama, go and have a proper bath. Your body is smelling. Oh my goodness. I am ashamed to call you my mother.
Titi said while trying to hold her breath in disgust. Titi my pikin, this your insult don too much na. I do bad say I dey hustle to give you better life. Since when your papa die, I make sure say you no lack anything for this life. No pay me back like this na. Iya Titi said, trying to control the tears settled in her eyes. Titi rolled her eyes. Her heart grew even colder with each passing day. She longed to mingle with the wealthy girls in town. She wished to party with them and spend lavishly, but her mother's torn wrappers and humble meals was a constant reminder of their poverty and she hated this. She constantly blamed her mother for their situation and always compared her to other women at every given opportunity. Then one day, Titi came home from school and met her mother very sick. She was laying on the bed, shivering. Mama, what is the matter? She touched her mother's body. Oh my God, your temperature is very high. She started crying. Mama, don't die, you. Who will take care of me if something happens to you? Why do you have to fall sick now? I haven't even paid my school fees for the term. Mama, you better get better. Oh. You better get better. Iyatiti do not know how to react. She sighed. Make I dey happy say my daughter dey ask me to dey alright, or make I vex say the only reason wey my daughter dey ask me to dey alright na say make I fit take care of her needs and pay her school fees. No be say she really care for me at all. As e dey so, my daughter don almost reach 18 years and she dey for her final year in secondary school. I feel say she go change oo, but no, I no dey see any changes at all. Now I dey fear for my tomorrow. All those thoughts rang through her head. Mama, give me money. Let me go and buy medicine at Emeka chemist for you. You need to get better by tomorrow. You are alive and I'm still suffering. If something happened to you, I will suffer even more and I don't want that. Yetiti sat up gently and untied the knot by the side of her wrapper, brought out some folded money, stretched some few notes out and gave it to Titi. Titi rushed out to Emeka chemist. She explained her mother's situation and Emeka gave her some drugs and also explained to her how it should be used. Luckily for her, the money her mother gave her was more than enough. She paid for the drugs, corrected her change and walked home. She then later gave her mother the drugs as prescribed. The next morning was a Saturday. Over breakfast, Titi stared at her mother continuously as if she wanted to say something but did not know how to go about it. Her mother noticed and asked, "My pikin, wetin happen? E be like say you wan ask me something." "Mama, are you feeling better now?" Titi asked. Iya Titi nodded her head in reply.
Titi continued, "That is good, Mama. Mama, I know you are not feeling too well, but you know I have not paid for my second term school fees and my SSC exams that is coming very soon. Mama, will you go to the market today?" Yatiti stared at her. She sighed heavily at the weight of her responsibilities. I still dey weak small, but make we do am like this. Since today na Saturday, follow me go market. Help me dey answer customer while I roast the plantain. Mama, I cannot help you oo. I am not going to the market with you. What if my school friends sees me and you with this your old clothes? No, I can't take that risk. Not at all, Mama. Iyatiti was very disappointed. Haba, Titi my pikin, na your mama I be. Ha, I carry you for belle for 9 months. Go 9 months o. Na me your mother you dey shame for?
But Titi was strong-headed. Her so-called reputation matters most, even more than helping her sick mother. Her pride, arrogance, and ingratitude covered a sense of reasoning. Iyatiti shook her head. Wiping her mouth, she said, "My daughter, poverty no be cause, but ungratefulness na real disease." Despite not feeling too well, she carried her corn and went to the market alone, while Titi spent her day glued on the second-hand phone bought for her by her mother. Unknown to her, something terrible is about to happen. Later that day, Titi fell asleep. She woke later in the evening. She looked at the wall clock hung on the wall. The time is about 7 p.m. She yawned lazily. Mama should be back since. She must be in the kitchen, she said while she dragged herself to the kitchen. But Iyatiti was not there. She searched everywhere but could not find her mother. She decided to ask their neighbors, including Iyabisi, one of their neighbors that sells food in the market, but nobody have seen her mother returned. Even Iyabisi was not back from the market yet. Titi was worried. Her mother had never stayed at the market for so long like this. It's now 8 p.m.
She stood up. Mama was healed this morning, oh. Hope nothing has happened to my mom, oh. I will go to the market to look for her. Just as she was about stepping out, she heard a knock on the door. I think my mom is finally back, she said as she opened the door. But instead of her mother, standing in front of her were three women. She stared at them, but could only recognize Yabisi, who is their neighbor and also a fruit seller at the market, the same market her mother sells roasted corn. Good evening, ma. She greeted the women. She turned to Iyabisi. Mommy Bisi, where is my mother? She asked, looking outside. Do you came with her? Have you seen her today? Iyabisi swallowed hard. Let's go inside there. I'll tell you where your mother is. They all went inside. Titi, Iyabisi began speaking. You will need to call your grandmother. She needs to be here. Titi began crying. Please, tell me where my mother is. Why should I call my grandmother? What is happening? Calm down, Titi. Your mother is in the hospital. We rushed her to the hospital when she fainted earlier today. We need to tell an elder in your family about the situation. That is why we need your grandmother here. Iyabisi explained in an attempt to calm her down. Please call her. I will speak to her myself. Titi's heart pounded heavily and fast. Her hands shaking as she dialed her grandmother's number. The phone rang. Titi gave the phone to Iyabisi, who went outside to answer the call. Seeing this, Titi's heart sank. She turned to one of the women. Please, ma, tell me the truth. I'm getting scared. Please, ma. Your mother is in the hospital. Calm down. Just pray for her to get better. One of the women replied. Iyabisi came inside shortly. Your grandmother will be here by tomorrow morning. I will ask Bisi to come and sleep with you tonight. No, Mommy Bisi, I want to go to the hospital. I want to see my mother, Titi cried. Titi, tomorrow is not too far. I will send Bisi to you. It is already late. We'll go to the hospital together with your grandmother tomorrow. They left and Bisi came afterwards. Titi was not satisfied with their response. She felt something off. Fear gripped her. Different wild thoughts ran through her head. She barely slept throughout the night. The next morning, she woke up very early with a sharp headache. She wanted to call out to her mother when the realization of the previous day event hit her hard. She sat up and began crying. Hours later, her grandmother arrived. Immediately Titi saw her grandmother, she ran to her sobbing. Grandmother, please let's go and see mother. Titi, calm down. Come, my child, come and sit with me. They sat down and her grandmother finally broke the news. Titi, your mother, my daughter, is dead, the old woman said in a trembling voice. No, this can't be true. What have I done? Mommy, come back to me. Titi wailed. Get a hold on yourself. You do not value her when she was alive. I will take you to the hospital to see her. In the morgue, the old woman said. In no time, Iyabisi came and they went together. On their way to the hospital, Titi could not control her tears. She cried out of pain, regret, She remembered the way she had treated her mother. She regretted not following her to the market that day. I killed my mother. I wish I did not mention anything about her going to the market, she said within herself. She cried uncontrollably. At the hospital, Titi was taken to the room where her mother was laying. She was covered completely with a white bedsheet. Your mother is here. We want you to see her before they take her to the morgue, her grandmother said. Titi ran to her mother. She opened the bedsheet. It actually seemed as if her mother is sleeping peacefully. She placed her hands on her nose but could not feel her breath. She put her head on her chest but could not hear her heart pounding. She shifted backward and let out a big shout. No! Mommy, come back to me. Please don't leave me. I will change. Please, I cannot live without you. She cried throughout the day. She refused to eat. She cursed herself, always treating her mother poorly. The next day, her grandma went to the village with her. She was told that her mother's body would be deposited in the morgue until further notice. The village was just 3 hours' drive from the little town. They soon arrived to their destination. Life at her grandmother's place was a very difficult one. It was nothing compared to when her mother was alive. She was not even allowed to mourn her mother. It also felt as if her grandmother was not much affected by her daughter's death. Her grandmother sells fresh river fish. Barely 2 weeks after her mother's death, her grandmother called her. Titi, you cannot continue staying here without contributing anything. I'm nothing like your mother. In an in her attempt to give you a better life, she spoilt you completely. As you know, I cannot afford your SSC exam fees. You will be helping me to hawk fresh fish. Titi wanted to say no, but her grandmother did not give her the chance to speak. Young lady, you must not butter words with me. If you must stay here, you will have to do as I say. Titi hawked fish every day, from Monday to Friday, and on Saturday, she went to the bush to fetch firewood. All the things her mother does for her, she had to do it herself. Anytime she's alone, she cried her eyes out, not because of the work she is doing, but because she had failed to realize how much her mother suffered. And now it is too late. Apart from all this, something keeps bothering her. The fact that no one is mentioning her mother's burial. She has stayed here for 5 months, and anytime she mentioned about it, her grandmother would dismiss it brutally. After 6 months, Titi summoned the courage and decided to ask her grandmother about it again. This time, her grandmother told her that she does not have the money to buy the coffin, and her father's family are also not ready to do something about it. She said, Titi, but she is your mother. You can certainly do something about it. Titi was confused, so she asked, but her grandmother, you have to raise the money for the expenses yourself. You can do this much for her. Yes, I would love to do something for my mother, But I don't understand how to go about it, Titi said. Her grandmother smiled. I will explain. I have been saving some money from the little money I made from selling fish for years now. I'm going to give you some money to start a business. She brought out an old box hidden under the bed. She opened it using a key she had also hidden in her old suitcase. She counted the sum of 50,000 naira and gave it to Titi. Titi, my daughter, you have to think of a business to start with this money. This is the much I can do for you. If you take the right step, apart from your mother's burial, you might be able to raise enough money to enroll for your SSC exam next year, she said. Titi collected the money. I am very confused, grandmother, but I will surely do my best, Titi said. She sat under the mango tree in their compound, deep in thought. I had seen my mommy roast plantain and corn, but I know I don't want that kind of business. I need a business that is more lucrative. Should I consider the fresh fish business my grandmother is doing? But no, I don't like that either. I don't know much about business. Oh my God, help me. The two business I had seen my mom and grandmother do, I don't think I want them. Roasting corn and selling fresh fish. Then something struck her in the two business, the fish in the fresh fish and the roast in the roasted corn, selling roasted fish or smoked fish. But how do I start and how do I say it fast? She thinks deeply and then remembered the little town she grew up. Maybe I'll buy the fish from my grandmother and then smoke it and package it myself and then take it to the town and sell it in the market there. Yes, she shouted in excitement. But then she remembered her school friends. What if they sees me? Just as she was about dismissing the idea, she also remembered her mother's sacrifice. No, I need to put my shame aside. Nobody is coming to save me. I need to do this. She told her grandmother about the business idea and she was impressed. And so she started the business and within the space of 2 months, she made double the amount given to her. Then, one evening, her grandmother called her. Titi, my dear, I have been watching you, and even though I don't express it, I am very impressed. And I can see all the efforts you have put into changing. And now I can say confidently that you are my daughter's daughter. I am very proud of you. Titi smiled, but she remembered her mother and she sat on the floor and started crying. I really wished I am this responsible when my mother was alive. Mother, can you just come back? She sobbed. And just then she heard someone call her from behind. Titi, my pikin. That voice, that voice sounded like my mother's voice. No, Maybe I am just imagining it. But just then someone hold her from behind. Get up, my pikin. Titi mind skipped. She turned around and saw her mother standing in front of her. She thought she just saw a ghost. She wanted to shout when she heard her grandmother's voice. Titi, get a hold of yourself. Your mother is alive. Yes, she almost died. She fainted at the market that day. Few months back, Titi got to the market that very day. Just as she was about putting down the heavy load she was carrying, she slipped and fell. She fainted and was rushed to the hospital by Yabisi and two other women. The doctor examined her and diagnosed her with HBP. He warned her not to stress herself too much again, both emotionally and physically. She was confused. Her concern there was specifically how she would take care of her daughter. Maybe I should call my mother, Titi said. She borrowed Iyabisi's phone and called her mother. Her mother quickly came through a downful bus. She felt terrible seeing her daughters in that condition. How are you doing, my daughter? She asked. Mama, I dey fine oo. The doctor talk say my BP high. My worry now na my daughter. Who go take care of am if something happen to me? Mama, as e dey so I dey confused. I no know wetin I go do, Titi lamented. Her mother looked at her and shook her head. See, my daughter, I have warned you about the way you are raising this girl. Right now, she is supposed to take up the responsibility of taking care of you since you are sick. But how can she do it when you have spoiled her? The old woman paused. I have a plan, only if you will agree with me. And so with the help of Iyabisi and the two market women, they were able to carry out the plan effectively. Titi was speechless. She was very happy, but she felt betrayed. Then she remembered how she had always treated her mother. She then realized that her behavior is the reason they had taken such a drastic step. But Mama, where have you been? She asked her mother. I be there for our apartment in the town. Oh. I don't save the money for your WAEC before, but the only money wey remain na the money for your school fees. And that is why I even say make I go market that day as I no well. But my mama advice say make I use the money start another business. Iyabisi come still promise me say she go borrow me money to add to that money. So I come open beauty parlour and you know say I be expert for hair making. Na hair wey I never see for my eye na I no fit make. I even give one makeup artist space for my shop and she dey pay me monthly. Titi ran over her, hug her mother tightly. Thank you, God. Mommy, I love you. I will never be the reason for your tears. Mother and daughter cried out of immense joy. A mother's love and wisdom should never be taken for granted. What do you learn from this story? Please leave your comments on the comment section. Also tell us where you are watching us from. Thank you for watching the story up to this point. We really appreciate you. Please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime we upload a new video. Thank you for watching. Help us grow, please. See you in our next video. Bye.